Hello, believers, non-believers, and everyone in between. You're listening to Stories with Sapphire. I am Sapphire Sandalo. Now get cozy and open your mind because it's story time. Cornelius, submitted by Bella. I used to work at a very popular pharmacy. The one I worked at is at a corner of my city that is known for a lot of crime activity. It used to be a BP gas station, but there were so many shootings and robberies that they ended up tearing it down and putting the pharmacy there. When I worked there, it was open 24 hours, and I worked the overnight shift from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Every night when I would work, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., I would see the silhouette of a man out of the corner of my eye, over to my right by the ice cooler. Thinking someone must have come into the store and I just didn't see them, I would come from behind the register to go look for them to see if they needed help. But when I would go in the direction they went in, I wouldn't see anyone. Thinking my eyes were playing tricks on me because it was so late, I would shrug my shoulders and go back to the register. However, I noticed if I stayed at the registers, I would always see this figure out of the corner of my right eye, so I would just walk around the store looking for something to do or go on break or something. This happened every time I worked. I never got a bad feeling or anything, but I know I saw someone. I never told anyone, just kept it to myself. From experience, if I tell people I see something they can't, they look at me like I'm crazy. Well, it didn't last long because after a while, my coworkers, including other shifts, mentioned that they would also see something by the ice cooler and feel something in the back room. One of my coworkers even named him Cornelius. Fast forward a year, my fiancé started working at the store with me, overnight shift also. Well, this one particular night, I asked him to go to the back room and grab some items for us to put up on the shelves while I watched the front. He was gone for about 10 minutes. I looked up and saw him speed walking toward me. "What's up? Where are the items?" I asked. "Were you just in the back?" he asked. I said, "No. Are you messing with me?" Again, I insisted I had been at the front the whole time. I asked him what was wrong. "While I was loading up the cart with items," he said, "I heard a whole lot of cereal boxes fall behind me. They were on shelves and pushed all the way to the back. There's no way they just fell on their own." He was visibly freaked out and didn't want to go back there. Now, mind you, it takes a lot to get to him, so I went to investigate. When I got to the back room, sure enough, all the cereal boxes were on the ground. So I just picked them up, pushed them back on the shelf, and grabbed the items to put on the shelves out front. When I got back out front, my fiancé asked, "Is anyone else in the store?" I said, "Not unless they came in while I was in the back." "I swear I saw a man over by the ice cooler, but I can't find him anywhere in the store." "Oh, you mean the ghost?" I said. He just stared at me. "What do you mean ghost?" I told him we have a ghost here. We call him Cornelius, and that's where we normally see him. He's probably the one who knocked down those cereal boxes in the back. "Why did you never tell me about him?" he asked. "Because he doesn't bother me," I explained. "I just see him by the ice cooler and go about my business. Sorry for not saying anything earlier, but I didn't see it as a big deal." After that incident, I noticed that Cornelius really didn't like men. Every man that went into the back room would always come out speed walking or running and saying how they didn't want to go back there alone, especially overnight. The only man who didn't seem to have a problem was one of my overnight managers, God rest his soul. So I knew if I worked overnight with anyone other than that manager, I was the one going in the back room. I would always go back there, say, "Hey, I just need to get my work done and I'll be out of your space. I'm also going to listen to Netflix or Pandora while I'm back here, just FYI." And I would literally be fine the whole time. One night, I was helping a customer over by the makeup wall when all of a sudden I heard the back room alarm go off. This alarm only goes off if you enter the room without putting in the code before you open the door. I turned the alarm off, looked in the back room. No one there. I went up front and asked the cashier if that was him. He said, "No, I thought it was you." I went to the office and looked at the security footage. You see the door open, stay open for a minute, and then close. The alarm goes off, and I go to turn it off, but you don't see anybody go into that back room. So my last encounter with Cornelius happened when I was there during the day to pick up my medicine. I was talking to the cashier up front when the trainer came running out of the back room. Her face was so pale. We asked her what happened. She asked if anybody was just in the back upstairs. We all say, not to our knowledge, but let's ask the pharmacy. Went to the pharmacy and asked. No one had gone back there. The trainer then goes on to say she was getting her presentation ready for the next class in 30 minutes, and she heard someone loading boxes onto the trolley to bring downstairs. She yelled out, "Hey," but didn't get a reply back. But someone was still loading the trolley. Thinking they couldn't hear her, she got up to go look and say, "Hey," again, and no one was there. The manager on duty, the one who named him in the first place, said, "Oh, that's just Cornelius." The trainer looked at all of us like, "What?" I told her, "It's just the ghost Cornelius. He won't hurt you. I'm surprised he scared you. He usually doesn't bother the women, only men. I guess he's in a mood today and wanted you out of his space." She looked at me like I was crazy. Typical. Then she said she didn't want to go back there anymore. While the other ladies tried to calm her down, I went to the back room and told Cornelius to leave the trainer and the students that are about to come in alone, to let them finish the class, and then they will get out of your space. They're not bothering you on purpose. This is a training store because we're the only store with enough room upstairs. I also let him know he might not see me anymore because they were transferring me to another location, but to take care and be nice. And after that, I went back up front, told the trainer she should be good now, and I'll see everyone later. The cashier that was up there with us texted me later and said she doesn't know what I did, but the trainer didn't have any more problems the rest of the evening. Oh man, what a journey. Thank you so much for this email, Bella. So Bella sent me the video she mentioned, and you see the back room door swing open and stay open before swinging shut. And the door, it's one of those handleless doors, so it's not like someone was opening it from behind for the video. There wouldn't be anything for them to grab onto. And Bella, you also mentioned that the location used to have a lot of violent crime. So I wonder if Cornelius was a victim that passed in that area and has now made that pharmacy his home. What I really love about this story is it's such a good example of how the way we interact with and see spirits greatly affects our experience with them. Like Bella, you were never afraid. You announced your presence, you communicated your intentions and needs, and so Cornelius didn't have a problem with you. But then your fiancé and male coworkers were very afraid of the activity, which made him target them even harder.